I'm not trying to buy a beat for $1,500 that has more than it was like literally 3 songs that had millions of plays on it. I'm just like, dude, I don't want this beat.
Yeah, I'm so now I gotta act like I'm excited to start all over. Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys. What's going down? It's DJ Payne 1. This is the Music Entrepreneur Club podcast, episode 97, powered by BeatStars, beatstars.live, twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a very, very special guest. I messed up and didn't record the majority of the podcast, so we want to capture some of these gems because this is an amazing session with an amazing artist. Toni Romiti, how are you feeling after talking and pouring your heart out for 50 minutes and then having me reveal that I just messed everything up?
Oh no, it's fine. I'm fine, honestly. It's good.
So there's a lot to cover, and boil down to a short form version of everything we discussed.
I think about how I can say it.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of amazing stuff, including how you got your start on Vine and basically how you went from just posting covers to SoundCloud to, I think at one point you were saying you made 70,000 off of your first monetized SoundCloud track.
Oh no, so after I started getting popular on Vine, I created a catchphrase called "Bish What" that ended up like having like a Jersey remix, like when that was really popular, like "Bish what, like that little like doop 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 that kind of music. That ended up creating like a trend on Vine. People were making a bunch of like dancing videos and like it was basically like I would just like I created the catchphrase by my friend like doing twerk videos and I'd be like, get it, bish, what and like people in the comments I saw they really liked it, so I ended up using it for like different things like the teacher said there's going to be a 40-page paper due on Monday, and like, bish, what? And so that was basically like, yeah. And then I made a video that was like, want to talk all shit in my comments, but in person you don't want it. Bish, what? Bish, what? And so that was the audio that these DJs used to remix it. DJ Taj, shout out to DJ Taj. He did that. And then, yeah, so after that got really popular, my manager, who's my manager now, he wasn't at the time, reached out to me. He went to my high school and he was like, hey, Toni, I see you're killing it. Let's make merch. And so, yeah, that was the first time that I made money off the internet selling that merch. We made around $70,000 off of that. And then, yeah, SoundCloud is when I started to make money consistently off of my music.
So I wanted to go back and talk about streaming because you do really well streaming, and you don't need to tell us how much money you make, but you said before that majority of your money now comes from streaming.
Yeah.
So how did you get to a point where that is the case and you're able to make the revenue? What do you think that's attributed to, just your success as a streaming artist?
I think that it just has to do with like in the beginning of when people were less bougie to go to another platform to listen to music, I really used to promote myself on my other platforms. And so that's kind of like how that was going. My baby's crying, hold on. But yeah, so I just think that I was someone that I used to just like, use other platforms to promote people to go on my stuff. And that's how I think I got like most of the people. And then like playlisting, I feel like a lot of, not me getting on playlists, but I think that people adding my songs to playlists and then, those songs just being in those playlists, I think it just helped like over the years of having it be in there. But yeah, I mean, I would just say that's kind of, it's just mostly organic for me. Like people just go from, when I drop a song and say, hey, go listen to it on this. And then that's kind of just how it goes. But I don't really know. I wouldn't really know how to say how that happened, to be honest.
I'm sure you get some editorial playlist love now, but, an artist like you that has like a following that adds your music to their own playlist, how important is playlist placements for you, like editorial? Do you care?
No, I mean, not to say that I don't care. I just think that like when my manager is really into numbers, so he looks into all this shit all the time. And so like like from what we see, it doesn't really matter. I just think that as far as like tastemakers go, when you're getting certain editorial things, it can make, like, ooh, you got a paper magazine, whatever the fuck, shout out to them. They're amazing. I'm just saying, as far as like kids today, they don't really care about that stuff anymore. I would say like that stuff isn't really as impactful as it used to be, like kids just don't care as much about that. Like it doesn't really like resonate with them. They don't really care as much. Like they're not really looking at that stuff anymore. Like Instagram is their blogs, like they're going from Instagram. They're, like it's like they don't really care as much about like blog posts or like getting editorial features and stuff like that. I mean, I think it's good for like, again, tastemakers and like just doing that kind of stuff, but I don't really think it's that impactful as far as your streams go.
Can we go back to your very first successful song, which was When Nothing on Me? And I'm looking at just the YouTube numbers. I mean, I know you have almost almost a full million monthly listeners on Spotify, but with your first song that you dropped, it's millions and millions of YouTube views, which is pretty amazing for a first song. How did that take off so much?
Yeah, so basically once the Rewind button became a feature on Vine, my friend Liko, shout out to Liko from Chicago, she reposted. I asked her to play my music in a Vine, and then once she did that, and I dropped the music video, like if you watch the music video, it was really hot in Chicago that day, so I kept like flipping my hair, like trying to get it off my neck, and that became like the staple of like what people would do when they would listen to that song. So basically, like a lot of popular male Viners, they would put on a wig, and they'd be like, "Bitches be like," and then next clip would be, "She ain't got nothing on me," and then that basically just like created a trend on Vine where people would like redo that the same way. And it just kept growing. And yeah, so then once the YouTube video ended up getting posted on WorldStar when WorldStar was really popular. And that was such a big deal. Like I just remember so many people from my high school, "Congrats, Toni, you're on WorldStar," like, because that was such a big deal at that time. And so I just remember my sister Irma being like, "Don't go read the comments." And I was like, "Why?" She's like, "They're really mean." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go read them."
WorldStar comments are ruthless. It's kind of like Twitter. I mean, I guess just comments on the internet in general. People.
WorldStar is mean as hell, though.
WorldStar is worse than all the other platforms.
Yeah, they're terrible. But yeah, so that was basically like, how that happened, and that was crazy because it was just so much pressure from my end because it was like literally that was my first single, and I was just like, God damn, like how am I gonna live up to this, And then when I dropped my album, so I dropped Nothing on Me in 2013, in June, July. Like I dropped the single on SoundCloud and I did the video in July. And then throughout that whole year had like gone by, and I reached out to Tink, who was also from Chicago, and I asked her to get on the remix. And then, the remix ended up doing pretty well too as well. We just never got a chance to shoot the video. I always wanted to, but we just never did. And that ended up doing pretty well. A lot of people I personally like the remix more than I like the original, just because vocally I got better over the year. And I was just, and Nothing on Me was my first time really recording my own song in a studio. And so, I just felt like I got better recording in the studio and just got better altogether. And I just feel like that version is better than the original.
Obviously there was a period where remixes were the thing. And then we kind of people still do some remixes now, but they're not as prevalent as they used to be. I think that the remix should come back. Like I always look forward to.
Yeah, I definitely love the idea of remixing too. I mean, I try to do that. Like honestly, my song Switch Up, I reached out to Polo G like right in the beginning of his career when it first started starting to go up. I reached out to him to get on the Switch Up remix. He said he was gonna do it. I sent it to him. He didn't get back to me. Same thing with the Kid Cowboy. I reached out to him to get on the remix for Switch Up. I sent it to him. He didn't get it back to me. So I don't take that stuff personal because it's whatever. Shit happens and people are doing things. But I definitely would have loved for either one of them. Obviously, they had ended up having so much more success after that point. So that would have been really cool to have them on the remix. But I definitely reach out to people to do remixes. I'm definitely still into that. But shit just doesn't fall into place. But
artists are weird sometimes. Like, so just in collaborations in general, obviously you have your own stuff going on, but you're pretty open to collaborating with people that, inspire you, or you just respect their talent.
Yeah. And I reach out to people, I'm not the type of person that feels like, oh, like even when there's an artist that I come across that I think is talented, I go out of my way to find their Instagram and I message them and I just say, you're killing it, do you, like, even if I'm not asking for anything or like trying to collaborate with them, I just think it's so important for like fellow artists and just people of our peers to share that type of, that positivity, because we don't have enough of it. It's just always so much like competition and who's better than who and whatever. It's like, we're all just, if you're making a living doing what you love, you're successful. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You don't have to be the most famous person, like people feel like the level of success that you're supposed to reach to deem you're successful is Beyonce or like Rihanna. And it's like, dude, those are literally anomalies. Those are like people that are like one in a trillion, like that's going to really happen to be that famous, to be that rich, to be that poppin', to be that beautiful. All of these things that you guys, that people think about them, they're like such a small chance. Not to say that couldn't happen to you, but at the end of the day, there's a lot that comes with that. People should just be more appreciative, I think, of like having success in any way, like if you're able to pay your bills off of your passion, you're successful.
Okay, let's talk about that. My bad. Go ahead, Dave.
No, I was just gonna say, and I think that's a great approach. Number one, it's mature. Number one, it's a mature approach. But I think that a lot of artists get real weird thinking that if they help somebody, that person might then like go past them. Right. Like, or, it's a weird kind of, but in the long term, if you are building great relationships with people, if they do pass you and you have a great relationship, you might be able to continue working and just put positive energy out there.
Yeah. And it's like, when you stop victimizing yourself and stop taking everything so personal, it doesn't matter anyway. Like, so what if they pass you? What does it have to do with you? It's not about you. Like, what the fuck? That's
you should celebrate that you were a small part of their journey. Yeah. Like, that should feel good about that.
Yeah, it's like I don't take that. I try not to take anything personal in that way, because at the end of the day, it's their journey. It's not my journey. Cool, we crossed paths, but that's my journey. Like, cool. Like, you were a part of my journey. Like, it's like, you don't have to make it seem like come from a place of lack. It's not a bad thing. Like, cool, let them pass you up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make you any less of a person. Sometimes, and that's another thing too, like people will be like, I don't know why these people, like people question why certain things like success happens for certain people, even people that I don't fuck with, people that I don't like their music, or I don't think that they're talented. Somebody does. So just because you don't think that it works or whatever, it works for someone. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't really take that kind of stuff to heart, because I just put it in the same perspective of there's some people that I don't want to work with. And it's awkward when you have to be like, I fuck with you, but I don't want to do a song with you. And it's like, that's just what it is. Like, okay, I'm still going to be nice to you. I'm not going to be an asshole because I don't want, there's no reason to be mean, but I don't want to work with you. So what?
Right. Yeah.
So your first song was super successful. And I know there was kind of some, so we went from like unity to drama now. But I think we can learn from it. A lot of the people that are watching are.
Well, let's because the management. Are you wanting to go into the management issue?
I wanted to go more into the producer splits.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Let's do that because the management stuff we might be able to circle back at another time.
Do a whole episode about the management thing because that's a crazy story. But with regard to the splits with the producer, a lot of people watching are producers, and you hear a lot of stuff from artists. Recording artists who are upset with producers. They think the producers are paying too much. The producers think the artists are paying too little. What went down with that first record? And I know you learned some lessons about working with producers from what happened with that Nothing on You record.
Yeah. So, once I put that song out and it was gaining traction on the internet, we decided that we wanted to try to sell it on iTunes. And so once that happens, the producer came to us. And so, yeah, the manager that I had at the time, he was the one that was kind of, giving me advice as far as like, you should sign this. This is normal, basically. And so the producer was saying that producers are typically entitled to 50% of the entire song. And I was just like, okay. I mean, I didn't know anything about it. So I was just like, whatever. So I ended up signing that. And so he had 50% of the master, 50% of the publishing, and we just split the song entirely 50-50. And so in my perspective, I just felt like it wasn't fair as far as how it goes. Like, I just wouldn't have wanted it to be that way, just because I feel like at the end of the day, the artist is the one that's taking most of the risk as far as the brand goes. Like, I just feel like if a song isn't successful, no one says, oh, that producer's beat sucked ass. No, they're going to say that the artist's song sucked. And so I just feel like when you're the face of the product, I feel like, and you're taking the risk, and majority of the time you're the one putting the money behind it, you should be the one reaping the benefits. If the producer wanted to put money up as far as marketing goes, yeah, we could split more. But I just feel like at the end of the day, it's not fair for the artist to have to take all of if the song doesn't do well, then the song is on the artist. It's not really on the producer's brand. People aren't saying that producer is a piece of shit. They're just going to say that the artist's song sucks. So I just feel like from that perspective, as an artist, when you're taking so much of the responsibility for the success of the song, then you should be reaping more of the benefits, in my opinion, especially when you're marketing it and doing all of that. So yeah, and again, I just feel like from that perspective of my music, I just think that the lyricism is more so what people were gravitating to. Again, I do think that producers matter. I think producers are extremely talented. I have ear for beats, I love choosing good beats, but I don't think that in that particular situation, the beat was the reason why the song was doing what it was doing. So that's why I just felt like it wasn't fair.
And so nowadays, what kind of splits are you working out with producers so it does feel fair?
Yeah, so for me, I like to work with producers who are less expensive, like up and coming producers who I just think are talented, that just don't have the shine yet. So me, I just post my email on the internet, and I get beats from people from all over, whoever the fuck is sending it to me. And yeah, so I just try to do stuff like basically in the beginning when I didn't have money, I would do situations where I would split 50% of the master until that producer made X amount of dollars. And that was a way that I was able to, put the money up. I mean, I didn't have to put the money up front, but the producer was still getting paid. And that really helped me. And then, so now I just try to work with people who charge, like, I'm not paying $10,000 for a beat, because I just feel like it's way too expensive for me and what I'm trying to do as far as an independent artist goes. So I just try to work with producers that are way less expensive. And yeah, like if I really fuck with a producer, I'm down to give a piece of the master, but usually I don't do that. I just give them their publishing and I pay them up front for the beat, and that's usually how it goes. But yeah.
No. Well, let me take this opportunity now to plug DJ Pain 1, because I think you guys can make some dope music together. So if you...
Oh yeah, no, I would love to. Yeah, I'm not charging 10,000 a beat.
Awesome. But 5,000.
9,500. No, I'm playing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that conversation is it kind of never ends. But I've been in a lot of scenarios where artists will say, "Hey, let me get that beat for free, and I'll give you 50%," which is, for you have 900,000 monthly listeners. They might have 9 monthly listeners. So there's a big difference in their negotiating power when it comes to the table.
Yeah.
But you're saying you still pay up front for the beats.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been paying, like, since I've been making consistent money, I just pay up front. Like, anytime I find a beat that I really like sometimes I just go on YouTube and I type in a style and I go to the filter and I put on like uploaded today so that I can find beats that nobody has listened to yet. And I'll just reach out to them from there and I'll just say, hey, I really like this beat. How much are you charging for your exclusive? And then I just buy it.
Is that something that a lot of artists do? Like look, filter for uploaded today so they find the most recent one? Is that something that, I mean, because obviously that would make sense for like producers to, I mean, they should be uploading consistently anyway, but you know.
Yeah, I just do that because I don't want to, like, I had a situation where a producer sent me a beat that he leased out to like so many people. And this pissed me off because I understand that producers get their money this way, which is cool, but don't send it to my email. Like if I came across it on my own and
right.
That's how it happened, then I completely understand. But he sent it to me like he was making, you know, like it was beats that he didn't put out there yet. And so he sent it to my email. I wrote a song to it, and then when I dropped the song, I had like 5 people. There was like a French song that was made to it. There was like that kid Rilo. I don't even know how to say his name. And it's like songs that have millions of plays. So it's like, and I bought the beat for like $1,500. And I'm like, dude, don't ever do that again. And then he ended up sending the money back. I think he just felt bad. But I'm just like,
as he should have.
Why would you send me a beat in my email that you already leased to like hella people? And then too, it's like with the lease that people bought, there's no limit to how many streams that it can get. So it's like, it's not really technically exclusive anymore. Like I might as well have just bought the fucking $300 lease like everybody else.
Would you have done that?
No.
Okay.
Because I don't want a beat that a bunch of people have. Because now I got people commenting on my shit. This is so and so's beat. This is so and so's beat. Like I don't want people commenting on my shit saying that. Like not to say that I'm all for a sample. Like I'm not mad at a sample, but I'm not trying to buy a beat for $1,500 that has more than it was like literally 3 songs that had millions of plays on it. I'm just like, dude, I don't fucking want this beat.
Yeah, we've had this conversation, like with the Caleb Hearn thing. It's kind of just like, if the song takes off, why sell it exclusively? That's kind of what I'm resistant. Like, even if I know a beat's been at least before, even if it's 3-4 times and each of those songs gets 100 views each, I'm still kind of wary of like, and I'll explain that to an artist. Like, do you really want to get this exclusively? Because the price is high, and what's the benefit, right? Like just pay the small amount, and then maybe your song becomes the one that gets 2 million views. But at the end of the day, if there's no limit on views, what's the benefit for you to spend that $1,500 on it? A lot of the times there's not.
Yeah.
Right. If we could just wrap this up, because we wanted to talk. Obviously, you just had a child, and I love what you said before about. Well, I didn't love it. I didn't love that you have to even make these adjustments to your social media and things like that, or even have to think about it. But what was going through your head when you were pregnant about social media and people being open to that experience?
Yeah. So for me, the whole, like, I'm very, like, I would say when I first started getting on the internet, and like, it was definitely tough for me to deal with random people saying shit to me and me not wanting to defend myself, And so now that I've gotten older, I've gotten way better at not, giving people the time of day. But I can't sit here and say that reading the comments still don't piss me off. Like, I probably won't respond like I used to when I was younger, because I used to be on fucking Twitter arguing full on, calling people all types of shit. Bitch, fuck you, suck my dick. Like, I didn't give a shit. I was mad. Like, but yeah, now that I'm older, I still read the comments, and some shit pisses me off. And I just didn't want to subject myself to getting stressed or like feeling anxiety or getting annoyed by anyone while I was pregnant. I just felt like that wasn't mentally where I wanted to be while carrying a person. Like, I just didn't want to be raising my blood pressure, because literally people feel like to me, I just feel like at the end of the day, people really feel like the internet almost like dehumanizes people. Like, when you get to a certain point, people will look at you like, it's almost like they think you're never going to see it. It's almost like a weird thing where they almost feel so small and so irrelevant that they think that their opinion isn't going to be seen. That's what I feel like it is. Like, they think that they don't matter, because what other reason would you say shit like that about people or make comments that you don't think, if you thought people were going to see it, you probably wouldn't say it. Or, you know, if you thought that person was going to see it, you probably wouldn't write it. But it's like they think that no one's going to see it or that person's not going to read it. So it's like, it don't matter, you know, but it does because people do fucking see it. And I can say firsthand, a lot of my friends who are popping, who have way more followers than me, they read all of their shit. They read all of it. And it's like to me, I personally just feel like at the end of the day, what fame and the idea of fame, like what it's become, is not healthy for anyone. Like people always want to say like, fame ain't for, you know what they say, fame ain't for everybody, fame ain't for everybody. It's like, dude, what fame has become today, being able to see people's comments in real time, what they're saying about you, how they feel about, that's not healthy for anybody. You can just see how much it affects people right now. Like even if you think about people like Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston, they were going through shit and they didn't even have Instagram yet. They were just reading tabloids. Britney Spears was only reading tabloids and that was literally destroying her. I mean, paparazzi sucks, but like Instagram, like when you, or just any of these platforms, and it's just at the fingertips, being able to see that stuff is not good for you. Like to see what people are thinking about you all the time, like so much beef, like literally the Cardi B and Nicki Minaj beef wouldn't even have happened if it weren't for the internet. It was people commenting stuff that they could read that was pissing them off, and they weren't even the ones saying it. It was just people saying shit like Cardi B, you know, Nicki Minaj, she ain't the queen no more. Cardi came through and fuck, you know, it's like Nicki Minaj is like, who the fuck not the queen? I'm the fucking, I'm the best, you know? Like, so I just didn't want to subject myself while pregnant to that energy. Like, I just didn't want to deal with that. I don't like when people give their 2 cents when I didn't ask for it. And the more you share, the more people feel entitled to. And that's literally what people will argue and say, well, you shouldn't have posted it if you didn't want people to say anything about it. And it's like, okay, well, now I'm not going to post it. So you have nothing to fucking say. How about that?
Well, and the pregnancy reveal video is almost at 1 million. And it came with a music video, right?
Yeah.
So you really went all the way out for it.
Yeah, I wanted to do a cool gender reveal. And I wanted it to, you know, obviously reveal my pregnancy as well. But yeah, that was just something that made my manager, we just wanted to do something that I could look back on and just know that I did something while I was pregnant, you know, like a cool music video that I'd be like, okay, cool. Like that was something that I did while I was pregnant and something I could be proud of. And that song, I wrote that song like November 2018. He and my boyfriend had been dating for like 9 months at the time. And yeah, I wrote that song about him, and we just felt like that was a really good song to use for the gender reveal.
Where did you shoot that video? The video is super dope. Payne, if you can, put the link to the video when you post the podcast.
I think it was in Lancaster at this guy just has this I don't know, he told us that he bought it from someone like 10 years ago, and it basically is like the way that he makes residual income every month. It's like some weird like little setup.
Is it somebody's home, or it's just like a?
No, it's like a place. I don't know. It's like a little. I can't explain it.
It's a place you can go into, and
yeah, like he books it out.
They built it for shoots, essentially.
Yeah, and so that's another thing too. Like I'm someone who, like, you know, being independent, I have to fund all of my music videos and do all of that, you know. So that's she just tooted. I didn't fart, the baby did. But yeah, so when I have to do that kind of stuff, I definitely like pick and choose what songs I want to do a music video for. So I don't think that like every song that I make, or like, you know, I think that it's really important to pick and choose what songs you want to do a music video for, especially from my perspective, because I'm not trying to spend money on a music video and no one goes to watch it, you know? So I'm happy with the response that I've gotten from that music video so far. The YouTube algorithm has definitely been giving me some love, so that's been in my favor the last couple of days, which I'm happy about. Well,
good, because doesn't it feel like it kind of dropped up? I mean, I know you said that at one point you were making how much a month off of YouTube revenue alone?
$40,000 sometimes. 1 month I made $80,000. I was making $1,000 a day at one point. But that's like literally at one point in time, there was a moment where there was some neo-Nazi videos that, like, basically YouTube wasn't able to control what advertisements were being placed in front of the videos. And so there was some Wall Street ads that got placed in front of these neo-Nazi videos. And once that happened, Wall Street was like, what the fuck? Because like a lot of people complained. They're like, Wall Street, you support this, you know? And so Wall Street was like, oh, hell no. So they pulled all their ads from YouTube because YouTube wasn't able to control at that time where the ads were going. And once Wall Street did that, then everybody else, like a lot of other big brands, pulled their ads off of YouTube too. So basically there was like, I can't think of the guy's name, but he made a YouTube video at the time basically saying, I made the same amount of money today from YouTube. He was like someone who has at the time had like some of the most subscribers on YouTube. He was like, I made the most money on YouTube today that I made 5 years ago. Like when I first basically like literally went from $1,000 a day to like $400 a day, $200 a day. It like, that's how bad the ad, like once all those people pulled the ads, it messed up the share basically.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the ad, I mean, even Facebook, I don't know if you monetize on Facebook too, but like Facebook and YouTube monetization has definitely decreased over the years. I mean, it still can be a healthy revenue stream for artists and comedians. Yeah. But it's so important to diversify your revenue streams, especially from revenue streams that you don't have complete control over, because YouTube and Facebook and all these other platforms, they can decide today, you know, how they want to do things differently. So yeah. Do you have any, I know you have merch and now you have your streaming, but have you thought about like, what's your view on like Patreon or something like that to further diversify, you know, where your money's coming from?
I mean, I haven't really thought about that. I don't even know what Patreon is, to be honest. What is that?
It's like it's to create like a membership like experience for your hardcore fans.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I've thought about doing stuff like that, but I don't know. For me, I personally, like, you know, I hope that streaming and stuff doesn't go anywhere. But for me, I personally would want to do something that is free for my fans like that. Like, I wouldn't, like, because I just feel like I owe them so much. Like, I want to do something eventually. This is something that I've been thinking about for years, where I fly out like 10, like really, and do this a couple times, like 10 really dedicated fans, like people who really fuck with me, and like book out an Airbnb and like have like a big like slumber party and like cook for them, because I like to cook and do that kind of stuff, and like cook for them and just like hang out with them and like take them to a basketball game and just like do something where I could really just like give them a good experience and like just say thank you, you know, like in a like, yeah. So I don't know. I personally wouldn't want to have someone be subscribed to a membership that they have to pay for every month or something like that. If I did have something like that, I would want it to be free, or like we did something, like I gave them something every month, or like, you know, did something every couple months or something. I don't know, like something where these people are people that I know really fuck with me. Maybe they don't have to answer like a question to be allowed, that they, you know, that only they would know if they've really been following me. I don't know. I personally wouldn't want to pay someone, make someone pay for something like to be subscribed to me. I would want to do it for free, but that's just my own perspective on it.
Got you. Dope.
But I mean, yeah, I do want to be able to get more direct contact. And that's why I'm happy that you helped me set up that texting thing. So I like that type of stuff, you know, being able to talk to them more personally, you know, but yeah, I mean, hopefully that, you know, streaming doesn't go anywhere for a while and I can continue to make money. I don't think
Spotify, I don't think that's going down. Hopefully maybe it ticks up a little bit. I don't know. I just know that just what I've seen from YouTube and Facebook, it's not the same as it was even last year.
Yeah, I just feel like the pie has just gotten so much bigger, you know? It's like the more people that are using those platforms, the more that the ad revenue has to be split amongst more people. It's like the more people who have been like, you can make a YouTube and do this, it's just so much more content and way more saturated. Like when I first started making music, there was only a handful of girls that were in R&B that I could list. Now there's so many female rappers, so many R&B artists. Like literally when I first started making music when I was a senior in high school, the 3 girls that I could think of that were doing shit was T. Kaylani, myself, and Tinashe. Like at that time. That were up and coming and around my age, you know? Like other than that, there was really nobody. Like it was really like not that many. Oh, Dreezy, as far as female rapper goes. Dreezy was someone else. But yeah, like other than that, there wasn't really many female. I mean, Mulatto, she was also somebody else. I almost did a collaboration with her when she was like 14 years old. But my manager at the time was like, I don't know if we should do that. And I listened to him like a stupid ass.
Oh, that was the shitty manager.
Yeah, because she was like making like kind of like bubblegum like kid music at the time, but she was doing, you know, she was doing good. She was someone was like, I got a crush on you. But yeah, so shout out to Mulatto, she's killing it, you know, but she was someone else. But yeah, other than that, there wasn't really that many female artists that were like putting themselves out there at that time. And now there's so many. So it's like, it's so oversaturated and you really have to, like, I'm just so happy that I got my foot in the door when I did, because it's so tough now. And that's why, like, when people ask me, like, what do you, like, how do you do it? I'm like, there's so many ways to do it. I don't even know, like, how, like, what advice you would want me to give, because it's so many ways. Like, you could be somebody who has a personality and then you gain a following off of being a good looking, pretty person that's funny. And then now you have people listening to music, and then sometimes it doesn't even fucking work. There's really good looking people that have followings. Like, no offense, India Love, when she tried to put out that music, it was poo-poo. And it was like, sorry, India Love, you're beautiful and all of that. But it was just like nobody wanted to listen to that.
Yeah, you got to find other ways to monetize, and that's always the challenge. So I just want to respect your time because I already taken enough of it with my stupidity. How do people find you? How do people get taken to basketball games and cooked food and all that?
My Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook are all Toni Romiti, Toni Romiti. I think that's about it. That's all I use really. Facebook, Instagram.
No. What that?
My
thank
SoundCloud
you,
is Toni Romiti, and you can listen to my music on Apple Music and Spotify and Tidal and all the streaming platforms that you like. And YouTube, go watch my new music video.
Yeah, the new video is amazing, but if you're consuming this podcast episode on YouTube, I will put that. And then also, yeah, I'm like 2.5 hours north of you if you're in Chicago right now. So just FYI.
He's in LA now.
Yeah, I live in
Oh, you're in damn it, man. All right, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm 2,000 miles away from you.
Yeah, I moved to Los Angeles in 2016, and when I first moved here, I lived in Studio City, and then I lived in Hollywood for 2 years, and then I bought a house in Woodland Hills in 2019. And oh my gosh, I literally, like, the market's so crazy right now because of COVID in LA, and I just got a letter in my mail. This family wants to buy my house, and it's not even for sale.
Yeah, I've gotten 3 of them, and they're the creepiest thing because I bought a house recently. Creepiest thing, handwritten to.
Yeah.
So what is happening?
Like, hello, I have a client that absolutely loves your house. I actually called the guy, the real estate agent. I just wanted to see what they're gonna say. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, damn. Like, I mean, I love my house, but it could be, I don't know. It's just like basically the dude that helped me buy the house, my real estate agent. His name is Charlie Chang. He has an amazing YouTube video that talks about so much financial literacy. You guys should check it out. He's really fucking dope. But yeah, he basically was saying that it's such a good time to sell your house, but such a bad time to buy.
Yeah, so you'll like be hella rich but homeless at the same time.
Yeah, it's like I want my house.
Especially with the baby, more movement, you know, just.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't know, because I told the guy on the phone, I just had a baby, so I don't know if I'm trying to move. And he's like, oh, that really complicates things. I'm like, yeah, that means pay me more money. Make the offer bigger.
Yeah, a lot more.
Right.
But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you could be eating Motel 6 waffles right now.
Thanks again, Tony. I'll be in touch, and if you ever need anything from us, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. This was such a good conversation.
Yeah, no.
And again, my name isn't Kendall Martin. That's my nephew, and I'm on his new account.
I appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll be back same time, same place, and then always BeatStars Live Mondays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our free music business mentorship program. Thank you so much, Tony. Appreciate you for being patient.
Have a good one.
Peace
All right,
and
you too.
blessings. Bye-bye.
Peace, everyone.